it was someone who was killing it, and I was like, later, dude. I started dancing with him. They're like, no, stop. You want to dance with this guy. And I was like, that guy? The guy who's like nervous, and he's like, and they're like, yeah, that's the guy. And I was like, all right, I'll make it work. That tells you everything about our relationship, right there. The end.
Olivo and Lin-Manuel, when did you come in contact with this show? Okay, I will give you the very short version. I was at Wesleyan University. Go West. I was a sophomore in college. I wanted a life in musical theater, and I knew I couldn't dance well enough to play Bernardo or Paul. So that's it. That's the ball game. So I started writing sort of my dream show, and I think the reason I started writing it was one, it was sort of the first Latin pop boom. This is pre-Despacito. This is Ricky Martin, and this is Mark Anthony and Enrique Iglesias, and it was funny for me to see the mainstream world embracing people I had been listening to my entire life. I've been listening to Mark Anthony my entire life. I've been listening to Ricky Martin since Menudo. And I've been writing musicals, but I never brought anything from home into that. And I think a big part of growing up is sort of bringing all of yourself into a space, not just the part that relates to the people in the room. And so I put everything into that first draft. It was an 80-minute, one-act version of In the Heights, and it was hip-hop, and it was Latin music, and it was show tunes, so it was sort of this weird mix of Rent and a Mark Anthony album, and like a Black Sheep album. And it was a huge hit at Wesleyan because I couldn't find enough Latinos in the theater department. So I had to do this big call, and so, again, theater kids, you'll relate to this, everyone came to the show because everyone had a friend in the show. Ralphie from the gospel choir is in the show, we gotta go. So it expanded beyond sort of the 12 people who were doing theater every weekend. And so that was a huge success. I met Neil Stewart and John Buffalo Mailer, who were seniors, who saw the show, and they were like, kid, we're starting a company when we graduate. Like, we want to produce your show. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna be playing Ultimate. I'm 19, what are you talking about? And they were as good as their word, and they started Backhouse Productions in the basement of the drama bookshop with Tommy Kail and Anthony Freestyle Supreme Veneziali. And so that's where it started. I met Tommy. We started the conversation that is still happening even today, and he is still circling my notes and having an idea for every word on the page. And little by little this came together. I mean, you are seeing a small portion of hundreds of actors who worked on In the Heights. It was a really long journey to get here, and it was many different plots. I mean, Janae Hernandez is the amazing actress who played Vanessa for many incarnations and brought Javi to us. Jill Furman and Kevin McCollum and Jeffrey Seller, and so there, we're sort of the starting lineup, but there's a lot of people who put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into the show, and I'm grateful to all of them. Robert DeJesus, who's not here, Luis Salgado, like millions of people. So thank you for being here. I can't believe we've been talking about it 10 years.